Hi everybody and welcome to What Am I Listening To and Why. This is your bonus content, which means you guys must have taken the last video, which was episode 11, through the 1,000 views marks. Well done and congratulations for that. And as your special prize for doing that, we're going to play a little game called Who's Better, Who's Best. Now, what it is, I'm going to pull up two albums by two bands who are similar in genre or era or something like that, and I'm just going to say whatever comes into my head, and then I'm going to tell you which artist or band is best out of the two. Play along. See if you can guess which way I'm going to go before I go. Let's see if you can do it. Okay, there's quite a lot, so let's clash right through them. Play along. Let's have some fun. Okay, number one. I'm not going to say the numbers. AC/DC, AC/DC, Motorhead. What can I say about these? I'll start with AC/DC. When I was a kid at school, I hated AC/DC. I thought they were everything that I couldn't stand, and the people that liked them, I didn't like them. They were heavy metal geeks, and I couldn't be arsed with them at all. So I was really not a fan of this band. This was a band that were better for me because Lemmy was a sort of believer in punk rock. He played with the Damned. And he played with the Damned, and he's friends with all the punk rock people and the Plasmatics and all that, and he seemed a lot more cool. But AC/DC have really fucking amazing songs, and as I grew up, I realised that they were a fantastic rock band, and there was nothing that could beat them. They were a powerhouse, both with the original singer and the guy, the name slipped my mind, so I ended up loving AC/DC, and I play them and listen to them all the time. Motorhead, this is the only album, I've only ever had two Motorhead albums in my life, and they may be the loudest band in the world, but there's a lot about them I just don't get. To me, it's a bit of a racket. So the winner is AC/DC for this one. There we go. Next up is, it's Jimi Hendrix and Bob Dylan. Jimi Hendrix, amazing guitar player of the late 60s, died in 1970, I think. 3 incredible albums, and then just a whole world of compilations that came out. I think it was a Jimi Hendrix Experience, and then it was Band of Gypsys for not very long. So short career, but a stellar one. Bob Dylan, amazing career, still going, still alive today. Still kind of doing it with radio shows and probably, I don't know, about 50 albums, so who's to win? I don't know. Well, the thing about Bob Dylan is no one gives a shit about his music anymore. Nobody's cared about what a Dylan album sounds like since 1975, I'm afraid. Same for Hendrix, but with good reasons. Dylan went religious. He went all Christian weirdo in the, when was it, late 70s, early 80s. That's unforgivable. Jimi Hendrix never went weird because he was never able to. So, who's best? Who do I listen to most? It's Dylan, I'm afraid, because I still listen to his records and I hardly ever listen to Jimi Hendrix records. They kind of wear out fast. Bob Dylan up until 1975. That's the winner of that one. Here's a reggae coupling. Yellowman and Eek-A-Mouse. I don't know much about them as people, I only know their records, but I love them both dearly. The thing about Eek-A-Mouse is he goes, beady, 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 boing, 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 and Yellowman goes, buddy, 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 bing, bong, bong. Who do I like best? I think I like Yellowman best. Although I do love them both. Elvis Presley and Buddy Holly. Elvis Presley kickstarted the revolution, absolutely. People saw him and everyone went crazy and everyone said, I can be in a band, I can start a band. Everything has changed. Buddy Holly invented the band and unfortunately, had a very, very short career. It was all over in 1959 for Buddy Holly. But he did make 5 amazing albums and revolutionised recording and what pop music actually is. Whereas Elvis had a sort of cultural revolution, which we've never come back from, and almost everyone cites Elvis. Who do I prefer most of all? I love Elvis. He's an amazing singer, but he's just an interpreter. He writes nothing. Buddy writes everything. Buddy is the winner. Buddy Holly. Let's keep going. The Clash and the Sex Pistols. What way is that going to go? Never mind the bollocks. It's just a stellar record. There's nothing on this set of grooves that isn't completely fucking amazing. It's a timestamp. It's year zero. It's all of those things. It's a design classic. It's incredible, but it's nihilistic and it went nowhere. I mean that in the best possible way. It was here, now, stop. The Clash had a similar sort of effect, but they had Here, Now, Let's Keep Going. The thing about the Clash was they lasted and they lasted, and they split up before they became really, really bad. Almost. Let's not talk about the crap we did that last week. But this is the real one. This is, without this, there's no this. I want a future. It's this. The Clash wins. Okay, The Who versus Led Zeppelin. Led Zeppelin, incredible band. Jimmy Page with his amazing guitar playing, John Bonham on the drums, it's unmistakable. But it's the same kind of thing here. You've got Keith Moon on the drums and Roger Daltrey singing, and the creative talents of Pete Townshend, which cannot be denied. It's very hard to choose this. What do I listen to? The thing I can't stand about Led Zeppelin is all that twittering and going on about down in the valley of the ice and snow and whatever they sing about. I don't know what they sing about. It's something to do with dwarfs and goblins. Do I know what the Who sing about? Not really. Pete Townshend is a kind of confused young guy. But if I had to listen to 5 albums, I'd rather listen to 5 albums of The Who than 5 albums of Led Zeppelin any day. I'll give it to The Who tonight. Oh, where are we now? Racy and the Rubettes, two early mid-1970s glam shitty bands who bothered the charts for about 6 months, the both of them. The Rubettes had that whole kind of doo-wop thing going on, which I'm very keen on. But Racy has some really catchy tunes. Some girls do, some girls don't. Now, am I listening to these records? No. Am I listening to Rubettes records? You bet your ass I am, and I've had a few too many to drink. I'm on YouTube putting the Rubettes fucking on before midnight. It's the Rubettes. Ramones, Blondie. How's this going to go? Stalwarts of CBGBs and all that. They were jumping on those boards at the exact same time. The Ramones accused Blondie of selling out and going disco. They certainly did do that, but I don't know if that was selling out. The Ramones weren't really capable of doing anything apart from exactly what they did, but exactly what they did was absolutely fantastic for the first 4 albums. After then, it started going downhill quite badly. Blondie, after 5 albums, couldn't sell a fucking coat to a tramp. I don't know why that happened. Some people like to blame Madonna. I don't know. Who do I like best? Well, I like them both, but as far as Blondie goes, this is the only really fucking great album. As far as the Ramones goes, there's 4 great albums there, so I'll go with the Ramones. Did you join me in that? Did you get it right? Oh, it's the Specials and Madness. Who's better? Who's best? Specials or Madness? Madness were great. They had a lot of really good fun pop songs. Absolutely brilliant. And they kept going for years and years and years. And you could probably still see them now if you really wanted to. But the Specials were darker, they were harder, and they were more serious. Is that a good thing? They were more fun. They were more serious. On the upside, they were more fun. On the downside, they were more fun. On the upside, they were more serious. I like the Specials the best because they kicked your ass and they had some bite. Oh! The classic. It had to come. And here it is. The Rolling Stones versus the Beatles. The Beatles, working class lads, the fabulous Fab Four mop top fuckheads. The Rolling Stones, they're the bad boys. They've got the uncombed hair. They'll put a Mars bar in places where only your mother should have seen. But the Beatles were the guys who were kicking the genres. They were moving the genres along. They were inventing the genres. And they were changing everything. I think the Rolling Stones, everybody says, oh, the Stones, they were the bad boys. But were we the bad boys? It's a bit like, yeah, they're a bit like prefects at school. I always saw the Rolling Stones as kind of bullies and not really the bad boys. To me, the Rolling Stones are a bit of a bar band. At least the Beatles had the decency to fucking split up after 10 years. These guys are still going. They have a hospital that they tour with. It's fucking crazy. No one's cared about, like Dylan, no one's cared about a Stones record since 1972. Absolutely no one. Who wins? Beatles, Stones, Beatles, Stones. It's obvious. It's the Beatles. Getting near the end now, and that's great because I'm fucking exhausted. This is a really difficult one. Stiff Little Fingers, Undertones, both Irish punk legends. Belfast and Derry. Stiff Little Fingers more political, a kind of harder edge, and they were singing about what they knew and all that kind of thing. And their first 3, possibly 4 albums are amazing. Hardcore politics by people who were going through it for real. The Undertones, the opposite side of the badge, they were songs about love, more songs about chocolate and girls. I was going to say buildings and food, but heartfelt nonetheless, and absolutely beautiful. Who do you have? Who do you choose between these? My God, I can't choose. I love them both. I say that one's a draw. Did you guess it right? Okay, and finally, it's Pink Floyd and Genesis. It's Pink Floyd is the fucking winner there. Thank you very much. I hope you enjoyed your 10 minutes of bonus content. I just did that in a wonder and my heart is beating like a drum. Thank you very much. Stay tuned for episode 12 of What Am I Listening To and Why? See y'all later, man. Woo!